Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and it's Thanksgiving week, and I'm thankful for so much.
So am I.
Who are you?
I'm Peggy Burton, and I'm very thankful. I'm thankful to be sitting here with you.
Isn't it fun?
And actually got here.
We've done this together for what now? Probably 15 years?
I honestly can't remember when we started. I was trying to figure that out today.
Yeah, we had Peggy come on one day from South Jackson, and when she left, I told Fuller, I said, we need to talk her into coming every week. She shows credibility.
Nice.
She adds a whole lot of cred to the nonsense we throw out.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Really
I'm so
has.
happy. I'm just so proud to sit up here with you. This is my adopted sister right here.
Family is more than blood.
You know, and
Thanksgiving.
You know, it's sort of the forgotten holiday, and look at that old turkey bird sitting up there saying welcome. And that's what Thanksgiving is. It's a time of welcome. You welcome your friends, your family, and you put the rest of the stuff aside.
Yeah, set it down for a while. That's the way
I feel
about it.
Thanksgiving weekend used to be that it was a restful type of time. Of course, back in the early days, after Thanksgiving, and not that long ago early, of course, it's going to be cold this week.
I know.
That's when everybody on Friday after Thanksgiving, that's when they'd kill hogs.
And,
it's family be together, and it was a whole weekend worth of
stuff to do.
And you might
family.
make cookies, and you might make stuff. I know when Jacob was going to school, he dated this little gal from Memphis, and their family was
I don't know what
Italian.
Oh, an
They're Italian
family.
Catholics, and on Thanksgiving weekend, they made ravioli, and the whole family would come, and they would spend all weekend making ravioli,
getting ready.
And everybody would leave with 15, 20 pounds of ravioli.
Wow.
You know, for the whole year. They made ravioli for the whole year on
That's
Thanksgiving
interesting.
weekend. And they played and drank and sang and danced, and it's just wonderful. And we've got Black Friday and Blue Monday and the marketing people. Now Black Friday started last week.
And we'll go on until
sometime after
Christmas,
New Year.
I guess, or after New Year.
So it's all about sell. It's
Yeah,
all
and
about
I'm glad that
getting your money.
I'm glad we have Thanksgiving up. I don't do Christmas trees just yet.
No, not till after Thanksgiving. You'll never see one at my house.
Thanksgiving is too important.
It is very important. And here, I've got a couple of things I want to read. Of course, I read this, I don't know how long ago, but it's appropriate.
Good.
Because people have favorite things. What's your, we all have turkey and ham. What's your favorite side item?
Oh my!
To go
John,
with the turkey dinner and
what's
all
my
of it.
favorite? Cranberry sauce, maybe. I don't know.
Cranberry sauce. Well,
I just like a little bit of all of it.
yeah, I like turnip greens, and I like sweet potato casserole,
Yeah.
and I like fried corn.
I like dressing.
Dressing, yeah.
Not something that we do often, so it's a treat.
But I know it's not good for you, but I like corn.
I do too.
So that's why I wrote this. I like corn. Corn is a staple that brightens my day. It can be used in so many ways. Roasted on the cob and held in your hand, or fried in a skillet from a bag or a can. Cornflakes in a bowl with yogurt and fruit. Corn in the midst of vegetable soup. Corn, black beans, onion, and cilantro, seasoned just right, the Tex-Mex way to go. Corn starch to thicken something that's thin. Get a sack of candy corn and dive in. Cornbread crumbled up on pinto beans. Whole cakes go with almost anything. A corn can be found on the side of your toes. Corny is a joke that probably shouldn't be told. Pop corn up for a wonderful treat, be it hot spice or be it sweet. Eat too much and get your doctor's scorn. Nonetheless, my favorite dream is a hot buttered ear of peaches and cream. I love corn.
You know, you got me on cornbread on pinto beans.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite memories. I can smell the pinto beans cooking on my mama's stove when I'd come home from the school in the school bus.
Yeah. And then
that was a smell I'll never forget.
This is something I couldn't do. I just couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I don't like buttermilk. My granddaddy would take
cornbread,
crumble it up in buttermilk.
Yeah.
And drink and eat that. He'd take one of those sticks, it looks like a corn stick. Grandma had one of those little things where you put your stuff in there and it looked like a little ear of corn.
I don't think we had one, but
yeah.
It sounds
and
cute.
A black iron is a black iron, and you'd pour that out and have about 8 little corn sticks that. They even had the kernels in the bottom of the iron where you could turn it over and it looked like kernels.
It looked like kernels.
He'd stick those down in there in that buttermilk. But one thing that's wonderful, or should be wonderful, if you take Thanksgiving in the way it should be taken, as a time to rest, be calm, put all the stress on your life aside, because stress kills.
Absolutely.
And rest. So I wrote this. This was in, this to 2012. There is a difference between sleep and rest. You can sleep without rest, and you can rest without sleep. To rest while sleeping is wonderful and needed, but not often achieved. The phrase rest in peace should not be reserved for the dead, but celebrated by the living. For rest without peace is just sleep. Search for peace and find the rest that heals all situations.
Rest is very important.
It is.
My son talked about droning when you're marching or when you're in the military, and you can't believe that you'll actually go to sleep, but you can keep marching.
Oh yeah.
And rest, because
Sure.
they didn't ever get enough rest.
Right.
And, I thought that was interesting.
I was very, of course, you know me. When I went to basic training, you start off and you got a bunch of people from about 60 of you from God knows where.
And they don't all last, do they?
And well, they last.
Did
Most
they
of them last, but it's not like, special forces, just plain old basic training. You ain't got no choice but to last. They don't kick you out of that. They drafted you, they put you in there. You're going to live through it. But we all start marching. And of course, I was in pretty good shape. And we'd see these other companies go by and they'd be singing and marching to the stuff. And we didn't have no singing going on. And so one day I just started making up a song.
Good.
And I was sort of in the middle, and I just started walking my way toward the front. And old sergeant, he heard that, and he just looked at me and kept going like that. So I ended up being the guy who did the marching songs and stuff. And made them up. And just, not really. Not really, because it just just like I do.
So you were a rapper.
Today.
You were a marching
I was
rapper.
a rapper before we knew what rapping was. Now, I wrote this next piece during COVID because a lot of people were left in a position where they were in mixed company. A lot of people were flying all over the world and couldn't get home.
True.
And you ended up in some situations with people you've never seen, never met.
Yeah.
And the world was still crazy at that point, but COVID seemed to just slow everything down for a while.
They did that.
So this is a story of a Duke's mix of people.
Okay.
An Afghan, Ahmed, asked the bartender Ed for an ale. A Russian Rasta passed out in her vodka. She's going to feel like hell. The Greek greets a giddy girl as she graces his glance with a grin. A Spaniard savors his sausage soup and a stein of suds, while Paul from Peru hoists a few pints with his buds. The rabbi roars, "Bartender, one more round for us all." Even that frisky fat friar by the fire down the hall. The Scot blows his pipes for the loss of his wife. An Irish prick named Phil, let me go to that again. The Scot blows his pipes for the loss of his wife to an Irish prick named Phil, as the innkeeper searches for a Frenchman who skipped out on his bill. A British cat is having a chat with a Swede slurping stew, as some Muslims mingle modestly with curry-scented smiles. The roads outside the tavern are empty for miles and miles. Americans, Germans, Japanese, and many more that roam found this safe sanctuary when they couldn't go back home. A crazy cluster of characters like I've never seen before. It's funny how we can all get along when a wolf is at the door.
Well, interesting.
And here's the piece of art where the little pub that they found on the road to go to, and that's where they hold up as a group right there. That's my art that goes with that, and there's the wolf outside by the tree,
I like that.
waiting
That
on
was
them to
good,
come
yeah.
out.
And they're staying on
And
the
they're
right.
staying on
moon
the
is high.
inside.
The
Safe and peaceful with new friends and a time of rest, sort of like Thanksgiving.
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit like Thanksgiving.
I hope everybody has a
So,
great Thanksgiving.
I hope they do too. And enjoy, I love the cooking side of it.
Do you do all the cooking?
I do most of the cooking at my house.
Well, good for you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I got a ham. I'm gonna do Judy Gray's ham with cloves and pineapple rounds on it,
And brown sugar and
brown
all that
sugar and
stuff.
butter, and then what happens there is once it's all sliced up, you usually end up with a piece about that big at the bottom, the butt end of it.
Yeah.
And I save that, and I save all the drippings.
And do you stick that in pinto beans?
And
or
I
something?
make ham soup out of
ham
it.
soup. Okay.
I make ham soup of it. I dice all that up, and I put those drippings back in the skillet and put a little flour in there and make some roux.
You ought to do that on. No, we don't have a stove in here, do we?
Well, we got a kitchen back there, but it takes a long time.
Takes a long time to do
And I
it.
enjoy doing things that take like that, because when I do that, I'm listening to music or I'm watching a movie and I'm chopping and
Yeah.
I'm happy, and then I take that and warm that ham back up, put it in a big old pot about this big,
And you eat on it the
stir
rest
it
of the
in,
year.
stir it in. Then I do not cook the green beans. I use either Glory or Miss Holmes, because they have southern flavored vegetables.
Vegetables, okay.
And I pour a couple of cans of green beans in there, and I pour a couple of cans of pinto beans in there. I pour some limas in there.
When are you serving?
And then I take and I dice carrots up and
Yeah.
put carrots in there.
Do you put onions and
No, I
peppers?
don't put onions,
do
because some
onions?
people don't like onions, and I don't put potatoes because we eat too much starch.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good.
And then I stir it and let it marinate
Let it
for about an hour or two.
Simmer.
And then I save jars, and then I pour it up. Of course, I keep a big pot in the refrigerator, but I pour it up in quart jars and
Do you freeze it
Give
or
it
do
to
you
people.
No,
I don't freeze it. We eat it.
Can you freeze a fruit jar? I guess you can.
Well, you'd have to, yeah. You just have to leave. You just have to leave about that much, where when it freezes, it doesn't bust the
explode.
jar.
Okay.
But if I was going to freeze it, I'd put it in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Best thing to do
Well,
there.
it sure sounds good.
Yeah, I love soup, and then you cook you up some hoe cakes
Soup is nice to have, especially
in the wintertime, and then
yeah.
see we'll do, that's Thanksgiving. We got another ham coming up at Christmas or something, you know. I mean, so there's always save when I cook something. I got little jars about this big that I pour off the fat.
Yeah. Did you grow up where they killed the hogs and hung the ham in the?
No.
place
We
that's
didn't.
salted?
My daddy did, and when we would go to Louisiana a couple times for Thanksgiving, they'd have a hog killing, and I never will forget the first time I did that. And of course, I was about this tall, and they went out there and they took that hog and they shot it in the head,
And did you cry?
and then I didn't cry. That's food, you know.
I would've
That
cried.
hog wasn't my pet, and so they had a big barrel, and they'd fill it full of scalding water, and they'd have a pulley up in the tree and put a
Yeah.
rope around that hog,
And drop it
and
down
put
in
that hog
scalding
down in
water.
there, and that way it made it easy to get the hair off of it and everything. And then when they'd pull it out, they put him in there by the feet. They hung him up by the feet. When they pulled it out, they'd slit his jugular vein and
Ouch.
bleed it, because it was hot. You know,
Right.
the whole, it was hot. Everything was warm, and it run.
That, I've heard, is a very important thing, to bleed out the animals.
Sure.
when
Well,
you-
my daddy them to take a jar and catch it, and he turned it up to
Oh,
his
my
lips,
gosh.
and he came over to me. Now I don't know whether I'm this tall. I don't know whether they drank any or not, or whether this is a rite of passage. And he handed that jar to me and said, have you some hot hog blood, boy."
Oh gosh.
And
Did you throw up?
I took my finger and went like that. And I don't know whether they probably weren't drinking it either.
I
It
don't
was just
know. I think-
it's just a
I think people
pull a trick
did.
on a kid.
Yeah.
Well, they might have.
Because my dad said before he played a basketball game that they'd swallow like 3 or 4 raw eggs. And I thought, what did that do?
My daddy, every day of his life, got up, he had a blender, he would put 4 raw eggs in there, and he would put some milk in there, and he would put, what's that, sort of I don't know, some kind of
Powder?
sweet kind of a flavor. No, it was liquid.
Oh, okay.
It's something that you keep at your house that you put on stuff. I'll remember in a minute. Put it in a blender and blend it up, and that's what he drank for breakfast every morning.
Wow.
Raw eggs.
And I'll bet he lived a long time, did he?
No, 69. Hell, he smoked and drank. He didn't. And a lot of people, I'm not going to say this because
I'm
it
not
might have.
laughing at him, but just,
No, but people back in that day, you know, we didn't have. Back in those days, when you got a cancer diagnosis, it was a death sentence.
right.
It's not anymore. If you had heart problems, it was a death sentence.
I know.
It's not anymore. With science and medicine has grown so much that a lot of my granddaddy Gray died of a heart attack at 59.
Yeah, that
You know, so
people are living longer, but, you know, I'm not always sure why.
but I
I think
guess
stress is the big killer.
stress
to
is
me.
a killer. Stress is a killer. And one thing, I had somebody talking to me the other day, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to do some research on it because my wife, Fran, works with Alzheimer's Tennessee.
Right.
And we were talking about cholesterol medicine. And this guy said, "You don't need to take that." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Don't you realize cholesterol is what feeds your brain? Your
Maybe that's what's
brain
happening.
food is cholesterol." And so I'm thinking, now wait a minute, brain food's cholesterol. And you're not taking, we've got people that are obese, more heart stuff, and they're taking it, doing away with cholesterol. I'd like to know, since we started taking cholesterol medicine, is that why there's so much dementia now? Because you're not feeding the brain the way it needs to be fed.
Possibly.
You know,
that's
so
true.
who knows? But that's enough of that. You know, we're living through it. I never figured I'd be 75 years old. You ever figure you'd be old as you are?
No.
No, heavens no. People didn't make it that way. Of course, we're meaner than most of them. But we have fun, and we're glad you're here with us. We hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll have a great show today. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with sodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
People in Tennessee are starting a movement.
Ouch. Thank you.
To clean up the litter on our roadways. Litter hurts our environment and endangers wildlife, and it affects our quality of life.
Here, grab me. Thank you.
Help keep our state litter-free.
Let's roll!
Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and be a part of the solution to end littering.
Saving the best for last.
That's right. Nobody trashes Tennessee.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for so many things, but one thing I'm really thankful for is this guy sitting next to me is the new mayor of Tullahoma, Tennessee, Mr. Lynn Seaburn. Mayor
Thank you, John.
Lynn
Thank you.
Seaburn.
Yeah, well, we've known each other on first name basis for a
For
long
a long time,
haven't
yeah, we
You
have.
got it all festive here with the Thanksgiving.
Oh,
turkeys
see,
and
I
everything else.
celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't put no Christmas trees up around my place
until afterwards.
It's over.
Just stand aside and wait till your turn to Santa, right?
That's right. That's right. You know, I think about the Indians, and I think about Plymouth Rock and the Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria, and all that stuff, and those people coming over here and starving to death.
Yeah.
And the Indians brought them something to eat, and that's the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
And then, as I think about that, I think about later on in history how terrible the United States government treated those
I know.
people.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of stuff like that.
Let's try to be better than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell us how Tullahoma's doing,
Yeah,
buddy.
I think we're doing okay, and I got my little cheat sheet notes here because
of course
a couple of people have asked me about a Thanksgiving message, and I guess I'm not a big quote person, but occasionally I like a quote, and there's a quote about Thanksgiving or about gratitude that I like, and this is supposed to be by Aesop, and it's one of those. How do you know Aesop really said this or not? But this quote is attributed to him.
Sounds good.
It does. It makes you sound smart when you start quoting Greek guys, right? But I love this quote: gratitude turns what we have into enough. That's a very simple quote.
Yeah.
But I think, and you and I have talked about this even on this show, I think a couple of times, the country's kind of been in turmoil lately and everybody's mad and angry all the time. And, Thanksgiving maybe is a time to sit and reflect on that a little bit. But this quote here, gratitude turns what we have enough. If you put your focus on what you have instead of what you wish you had, you're probably going to be better off in a frame of mind. And at least on Thanksgiving is a day to do that. I mean, we have a lot of things, and everybody's always wanting to do better. That's what Americans, we're always going to do more, right? We're going to do more. We're going to do bigger. We're going to do better. Everything's got to be bigger and better all the time. The problem is you can start to feel frustrated when you're chasing something all the time like that.
You put yourself that type of attitude breeds stress.
Yeah,
and stress kills.
It does, and it can cause contention. And so it's good that we have a national holiday to say time out. It's good to go chase new things. I mean, we're chasing new things here in Tullahoma. All that stuff's great, but take time out every once in a while and think about what you got.
Sure.
So that's just the encouragement. And so I just want to mention a couple things I'm grateful for. And first of all, I'm grateful for this opportunity to serve the community. Sorry, dry skin.
You got it.
You're not supposed to do that on TV.
That don't make any difference. We're human.
But anyway, I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve Tullahoma. Having a great time doing that so far. It's great to get out and talk to people. We had this 5K this last Saturday.
Right.
I was out there and just met all.
Did you wobble gobble?
I wobbled more than I ran, that's for sure. And we won't discuss my time, but there's some fast people in this.
Oh,
town.
I'm sure they are.
But I get a great chance to meet even some more people I hadn't met before, who are out doing great things serving the community. So that's great. I'm thankful for the quality of life we have here. I mean, I think most people that live here agree to that. We've got lakes around us and mountains around us, and we've got arts and crafts right here, and all sorts of music here locally. We've got great jobs.
Shopping,
and it's just a great place to live and raise a family, and so we enjoy that. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for AEDC and that allows our city to support our armed services and our young men and women in arms the way that we are able to do, and also support our veterans. I'm thankful we have pretty much low unemployment. There's always somebody maybe that doesn't have a job, but for the most part, state of Tennessee has some of the lowest unemployment in the country, and we have that
tax-free
here.
employment.
And tax-free employment, that's right, no income tax here. And not only do we have jobs, we have good jobs in the area.
Right.
And so I'm thankful for that. I especially want to compliment the city employees. I know not everybody always has a great experience with government, but our goal is to try to do as best we can with that. But our city employees are working to provide services we need. I think, the county's the same way, but when you look at what's in our city budget, there's not a lot of stuff in there that's not necessary stuff.
Right.
And so the services that our employees are providing is things that the city citizens need, and I'm thankful for the work that they do there. Most of all, I'm grateful for so many of you in Tullahoma that volunteer your time, your talent, and your finances. I think our town is known for people that really get involved with the community and just helping people all around.
The softer side of this town is absolutely amazing.
And we have people helping all the way from babies to seniors,
right,
and everything in between, sports and arts and homelessness, and if somebody's got a need, there's somebody in town trying to fill it.
Yes.
That's my impression. I'm thankful for that, and I think we ought to all be thankful for
in our communities around as well. I mean, there's a lady out here who's going to be on the show in a minute from Isaiah House.
I was just talking to her in the green room.
You've got Blue Monarch, and you've got these
House.
people who have a calling. Not a job, but you can't call that a job. You call it you're called to do something like that.
Yeah, I hope that everybody will stay tuned and listen to the conversation on Isaiah House.
She's a good girl.
They serve a great service for kids. And, my wife was a school teacher, and I used to hear all those stories and kids with problems. It's nice to know that there's some people out there trying to help kids that are caught up in troubled households. And,
very much so. Very much so.
So anyway, I encourage you to take, everyone, hopefully you'll get to take, if you're one of the people who has to work on Thursday, then I've been there, I've had to work on that Thanksgiving Day back when I was in radio a long, long time ago. I'd worked those holidays.
I didn't know you were in radio.
When I was in high school and college, I had an uncle that was in that, and they got me a job. So
good for you.
So I was the part-time guy.
No wonder you got the skills you have.
Well, I don't know if I had that much skill back then, but the part-time guy always worked Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it planted the seed, though.
But we've got first responders and policemen and firemen and people at the hospitals that'll be working that day, and we appreciate them. But I hope everybody else will have a day off and can sit with your family and be thankful for the things that you have.
I tell you something else too that I want to be thankful for about you're talking about the city.
Yeah.
We have a police chief who has just been accepted
Yes.
by the FBI.
Yeah, and to the
To
special
go
academy
in
that they
their
have.
academy and be trained for 10 weeks, and that just doesn't fall on anybody.
No, it doesn't. It's pretty small amount of people that get to do that.
And so this is our police chief in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and that shows you again the level of competence and service and skill that we have in this town serving our citizens.
Yeah.
And I'm just so proud of Chase, I don't know what to say.
He's great. The police department does a great. I had a citizen just randomly on the street at the 5K the other day praise the police to me, and I was like, well, that's always nice to hear from somebody just walks up and tells you that. And our fire department, I think, has the same reputation.
Same thing, same thing.
So really
Outstanding.
good. Really good.
Outstanding. So now that we through with all of that,
Thanksgiving stuff. All right,
let's get to Lent.
All right.
What's your favorite side item on Thanksgiving Day?
It's probably sweet potato casserole. It's hard to go wrong with that.
No, that's pretty good. Now, second question. I stood in front of the post office one year, several years, and asked this. How do you like your turkey sandwich?
I don't like a turkey sandwich as much as I do just the turkey.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I'm going to eat the turkey probably without the bread this year. Trying to pass on some of those carbs.
Yeah, but it's funny. People have.
Now, if I have one, though, I want gravy on it.
People. Some people put dressing. Some people put cranberry sauce. It's amazing what people put on a turkey sandwich.
I know.
And it's only that. If it ain't got that, it isn't right.
I like a gravy and dressing a little bit, but
there you go. That's good stuff. Well, Lynn, we're thankful for you.
Appreciate that.
And your family and how you represent yourself and represent this town.
Thank you. Well, this is a great service y'all provide the community as well.
Well, thank you.
This information program,
we try.
It's important to be able to learn what's going on in your community.
We try, and this is 32 years, I guess we've been doing.
Miss Peggy does a great job.
Oh yeah,
she had the little sequin sparkles going on.
Oh yeah, she's
making me look. She makes all of us look poor.
Peggy, listen, I'll tell you, you might not have heard this, but she was on the show one day about 15 or so years ago for South Jackson, and when she left, I told Fuller, I said, I'm gonna try to get her to come back every week. She adds a whole lot of cred to what we're doing.
She does. Always does.
She's a wonderful lady. Well, sir,
right, thank you,
and
appreciate
I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and tell your lovely daughters and son-in-law, and then now you got a son-in-law to be.
That's right. He's a newspaper man, so you got to watch him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so.
Hey,
he's doing okay.
That's good.
But I just want to reiterate to everybody and tell them again, may God bless you and your family, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, buddy. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, my name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome back. I'm delighted to have with me Susan Thompson today. Hi, Susan.
Hello.
She is here with Isaiah House, and I'm going to let you start by telling people what Isaiah House is and what you do.
Okay.
Isaiah 117 House, our mission is to change the way foster care begins. So we provide care for children who are waiting foster placement. Typically, when children were removed, they were taken to an office, a conference room, sometimes offices at county jails, but instead they can be brought to a home. It looks just like your home would.
That's awesome.
It's got toys and all kinds of fun things for kiddos to do. They can get bubble baths. They can go outside and play. They can be a kid on probably their most adult day and leave with all the supplies they need to go to their foster care or kinship placement.
And do you find that they stay in foster care for a long time? Do they get back with their parents sometimes?
The goal for DCS is reunification for families, but that kind of, once they leave us, we don't really have a lot of information.
You don't have anything to do with it, so you know well, I know you have to have money to do what you do, and so I think there's a fundraiser coming up. Would you tell us about that?
Yes, so this is going to be our first ever annual family Christmas movie night with Santa, and that's going to be at the Montana Drive-In in Estill Springs, December the 14th. That's a Saturday night. Gates are going to open at 3:30. We've got lots of things for the kiddos to do. We have a professional photographer, Catherine Rianne Photography.
So there'll be pictures with Santa?
Yes, a professional photographer will be doing
That'll
those.
Be great.
She'll be posting them on her site so people will be able to go get those and then print them. We have cocoa, we have crafts for the kids to do, letter writing to Santa, and some other things, other surprises that will be coming up, more things for kids to do.
That's exciting, and kids will love it.
They will, and then at 5:30, the movies start. We do know Elf is confirmed. We're not sure what the other movies will be, but so they'll also
Elf
get a movie
is a
night.
funny show.
It is.
They'll love that.
Yes, I think so.
And it's fun for all. What is the day again? The December 14th? Is that what you said?
It is on a Saturday, and so
Saturday.
we are selling tickets in advance because we want to make sure we can plan for the children. It is a fundraiser, but it's also about doing things with our community, about providing awareness. So if people don't know what Removal Day looks like for kiddos when they're removed by the Department of Children's Services, we'll have our booth there as well. But we're pre-selling tickets so we can make sure we have enough crafts. We want to make sure everybody gets their picture made with Santa.
And do you mind telling me how much it costs?
Yes, so 2 and under are free. Kids' ticket price is $5. Adults, which is 18 and up, is $7. And you can go to the Montana Drive-In to purchase the tickets.
That's awesome. And the Montana Drive-In, is it open during the day, or is there certain hours? Do they have to go there, or do they call?
You can go to the website. I'm not sure what their winter hours are on that. The cool thing is that we're partnering with them. Montana Medina is also a team leader for the Department of Children's Service right here in Coffee County. So we're excited that she's tag teaming with us and is helping do a fundraiser for us.
So that, I think that's going to be a very successful, because you've got such a variety of stuff to do.
We do.
And all ages, right?
We do. So that'll be something for everybody to do there.
Even your grandma and your grandpa.
That's right. They can even have their picture made with Santa if they'd like.
Right. I think a family picture would be cute. You know, you always see babies sitting on the lap and all that, but I think family pictures with Santa Claus would be fun too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To carry through life. How long have you been doing this, Susan?
So I started in about May of 2019, raising awareness, and our house has been open a little over 2 years. In that time, we have actually had 308 children walk through our red door.
That is wonderful.
It is.
And when the children come, the parents have been, what happens to the parent? You don't know what happens to the parents.
No, they've just been removed out of their home.
They've been removed. So the police remove them, or
usually
Human
Department of
Services.
Children's Services.
Yeah,
their caseworkers come with them.
And I just know how it used to be. They'd have to go and wait in the jail lobby or somewhere like that. And so this is not so traumatic.
Right. And so, you know, at the house too, they're able to get lice treatment. So some kids have had lice for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cry, but we had a teen, and we found that she had lice. And of course, she was so embarrassed. And we're like, this happens to everybody.
Yeah.
No worries. And so at the Isaiah house, we try to make anything better. So the volunteer ran out, got a sonic blast while we were, you know, coming out the nets. And then we called it Isaiah 117 House Spa Day whenever we're doing a lice treatment. And so then she did face masks, and they did nails. And so
That's
the volunteers,
wonderful.
they're just really the hands and feet of Jesus.
That is wonderful.
They really are. And so we turned, I feel like, a bad situation into a better one.
Into a better one.
We couldn't fix it. But we did, you know, do the lice treatment and, you know, tried to reassure her, hey, this happens to everybody, but we're taking care of it. And then she got to do all kinds of fun things with volunteers. After that volunteer left, another one came in and did all kinds of crafts with her and was sewing with her. So she was busy the entire day at the house.
Do you have a lot of volunteers? Are you looking for more volunteers?
We are definitely in need of volunteers, especially evening hours and weekends. You know, that's a lot of times when the kids come in, when they've been, you know, DCS has picked them up from school, things like that. We really need more volunteers.
And so if someone wants to volunteer, they go to Isaiah 117, Isaiah House 117 on the web, right?
Yes, so they can go to Isaiah117house.com and they'll have to go to locations and find hours. Or if they do Facebook, they can go to Isaiah 117 House, Coffee Franklin and Grundy, and they can message us there. And that way we can, you know, let them know when our next training is and get them signed up to be a volunteer.
There's a house in each of the counties somewhere. I know we don't know where it is, but or is this just one house?
So it's one house, and we serve Coffee Franklin and Grundy combined.
And how long did it take y'all to get the money to build that?
Oh, it's a good question. I was trying to think.
Well, you may not know, and it's okay.
It could be probably about a year and a half.
Because it seems like I remember when it was first being thought of, and the person that came was excited about it going to open. And I feel so blessed that we have people interested like you in filling this hole in life, because children go through a lot.
They do.
Number one, it's hard to be taken from their families, and then they go to a foster home, which are people they don't know. And I just think you do a wonderful job, and I appreciate it. And I can tell you're emotional about it.
Yes. Well, it's wonderful too, the community. I think it's always a nice story we share with our teens a lot of times when they ask us, where'd you get all these clothes for me, or all these things? And we're like, the community did this for you. Your community cares, and they want better for you on this day. And most of the teens will say things like, I didn't know people were this nice. Or for me, we're like, yes, this is for you. This is for you on this day to make it better. You know, we've had some kids that are not even verbal, but they may see a Mario backpack that someone's donated, and they smile, and you know that's
that they want one really bad.
And that's what the goal is. Our mission is truly to step in early and reduce trauma for the children by telling them, you know, they're loved, they've done nothing wrong. And then we also want to come alongside the Department of Children's Services and, you know, be an extra set of hands for the caseworkers.
Right.
And then we also want to ease that foster family transition or kinship placement by giving them all those supplies they need to go, you know, to take that kiddo in.
Exactly. And do you have plenty of people volunteering to foster children?
There is definitely a need for more foster families. If people are led to do that, they can go to the Department of Children's website and, you know, learn about taking classes, but there's always a need for foster families.
I think a beautiful foster family is a family that fosters to adopt. That happens, and I know it's saved a lot of children.
It is, but now, and that's when they go into foster, and DCS will tell you the goal is to reunify.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to see foster families really work with that birth family to make the best situation for that child.
For the child.
We had a volunteer recently, and she became a foster family, and she did just that. She actually went to the courthouse for the reunification of the family, supported them, her family did. And it's beautiful to hear her stories about, she's been a volunteer, so she's been with the kids, she's served other families, but then we were able to serve her when she got her foster placement.
Right.
So she's got to see, you know, our ministry truly come full circle.
Well, it's a wonderful program, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I know that the community appreciates it, and I would encourage people to donate.
Yes, we can always use donations.
I know you're doing this event. Run through that real quick one more time before we go.
So December the 14th on a Saturday will be at the Montana Drive-In in Estill Springs. Gates will open at 3:30. Movies will start at 5:30. Tickets are on sale at the Montana Drive-In, their website. 2 and under are free. Kids are $5. Adults start at age 18, and they're $7.
And I believe you can go there and buy food and stay during the whole time.
Yes.
So bring some cash.
Yeah, they can buy some concessions from the drive-in.
That's what it's all about.
We'll be selling our shirts and things. We're going to have, we've not ever had these, but we're going to have pillows just like throw pillows for sale. So a good Christmas present for people. We're saving them for that event that have our Isaiah stuff on them. Love You're Not Alone's on them. And on the back is our counties.
Love You're Not Alone.
So it's our t-shirts made into a pillow.
I love it. Yeah. What a cool idea. Well, I guess we've said about all we need to say. And Susan, I want you to know that I appreciate you so much. And you are looking for volunteers.
We are.
And people that are interested. And I don't think you have to have a lot of time. You just find some time that you can help. And,
we ask our volunteers to sign up for 2 shifts a month because that keeps them connected to the house, just knowing where things are. We feel that they're better connected, but they sign up they get to pick their shifts. They could be anywhere from 2 4-hour shifts, 2 6-hour shifts. So they can be involved as little or as much as they truly want to be.
Or they can do morning, afternoon, night, whatever they have.
Weekends, anything that they're willing to do, we'll take them.
Well, thank you so much. And I am so proud of you and the program.
Thank you.
And I guess we'll be back with something else. Susan Thompson.
Johnson. Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
I changed your name
It's
already.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Thank you.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street, heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch. And John, we're here for segment 71 of the Conversations with John and Pat.
I got a song to sing. It's about, there was some talk one time, maybe in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I'm really not sure.
Well, that's appropriate since we're on segment 71.
Yeah. And it was about, in regard to God, and that these people said that God was dead. And I'm here to tell you that God's not dead. He's not even sick. But these people believe...
Yeah, they will sniffle.
But these people believe that we came from, another species. And this is a little song about it. You might admit it, don't try to pin it on me. None of my fathers ever hung by their tail from a tree. Satan got Darwin to get people doubting. When it comes to deceiving, he's slick. But I got news for you, the rumors ain't true. God is not dead, he ain't even sick. Your whole confounded story is an unfounded theory that's self-contradictory and dumb. If your great-grandmother was old stagnant water that came alive when the sun hit the scum, tell me then, where'd the water and the sun and the scum come from? Satan has used you and thoroughly confused you. When it comes to deceiving, he's slick. But I got news for you, the Bible is true. God is not dead, he ain't even sick. Never heard a monkey say someday that he'd be like you. That's why a monkey has more common sense than you do. I know that Jesus came here to save us. Given the choice, he's my pick. 'Cause I got news for you, the rumors ain't true. God is not dead, he ain't even sick. Your whole confounded story is an unfounded theory that's self-contradictory and dumb. If your great-grandmother was old stagnant water that came alive when the sun hit the scum, tell me then, where'd the water and the sun and the scum come from? Satan has used you and thoroughly confused you. When it comes to deceiving, he's slick. But the Bible is true, and I got news for you. God is not dead, he ain't even sick. I bet that's the one you've never heard, Pat.
I have never heard that, and wondering the whole time whether they played that on the sidewalk out there to the Dayton at the courthouse to the Scopes trial.
That wouldn't be a bad song to be played. Maybe they'll pick that up someday. All right, Pat. We're talking about
this is going to be a hard segue for here.
Yeah, yeah. Thinking about monkeys, then we're going right into football. Oh, my.
You were going to your topic.
No, I'm going to pick mine up at the end, so I'll throw mine in at the end.
Okay, all right. Well, we're adaptable here. You threw me a monkey wrench, but it's a
monkey. Monkey seat.
How'd you like that? We've talked about the 1979 season as being a really nice season after Coach Cooper's term in Tullahoma. And the next really strong one after that one would have been the 1987 season, and that was head coach then was Joe Gaddis, who had coached with Coach Bland in the late 70s, and he went with Coach Bland to Farragut, and then he was brought back here as head coach. And Dean Rodenbeck, I believe, who's still with us at the high school now, was his defensive coordinator. They had some fine coaches and some awful fine players. Let's see what kind of pictures we got, Philip. Well, that's a little bit better than what I thought I'd taken. Got in the annual from the administration building, and I'm please don't call me and berate me for not coming up with more names. But the annual had no team identification anywhere, and this was it went the furthest in the playoffs ever, and they won 12 games, I believe it was, either 12 or 13 maybe, and got beat in the semifinals by Jefferson County at Jefferson County, and by a touchdown. And the next week, when Jefferson County played Gallatin in the finals, they absolutely obliterated Gallatin. Mm-hmm. So we were probably really the second best team, and the real finals was played at Jefferson County the weekend before the finals. But anyway, this picture of the running ball is Maurice Shaw, whose older brother Wayne was on one of Coach Gaddis's first teams, and I believe Maurice that year rushed for over 2,800 yards. He had a tremendous season, and of course Maurice is helping Coach Olive at the high school now.
That whole family was athletic.
They were really tough. And Maurice played at Ole Miss, and also on that team were two other SEC players. Stephen Matthews signed at Tennessee and eventually transferred to Memphis, where he had a great career and played with the Jacksonville Jaguars in NFL, and he was the Jacksonville Jaguar Player of the Week 1 week while he was in Jacksonville. Stephen Matthews. And then the other one was Antonio London, who was the #1 prospect in the state of Tennessee the following year, and played at Alabama, and then played a pretty long NFL career with the Detroit Lions, I believe, and also with the Green Bay Packers. But they had 3 SEC Division I football players at the same time. 2 of them played in the NFL, and they had a really fine team that year. A little bit of story on that Jefferson County game. There's no telling how many buses took Tullahoma fans from the high school to Jefferson County, and the stands. I travel over there every other week, and I went back by there 2 years ago to see if my memory was correct, and it's at the same place and it's the same stands. It probably didn't hold quite as number of people as I thought it did in my mind, but we had that stand, the visitor stands over there, packed before warm-ups started. Now, I'm not talking about packed before the game or packed after the first quarter, but there was Tullahoma people completely filled their visitor stands before the warm-ups. And they dressed on the opposite side and came out of a gate inside the stadium, and both teams did, and both teams got stand ovation from their fans. It was really a neat, really neat experience. Really,
it was a good game.
Really a source of great pride, I think, for us. It's the support we showed those guys. I said we got beat by a touchdown. I believe the score was 14-7, and we were on their goal line at the end of the first half and couldn't quite get in. Thank you. That pass there being caught was Antonio London catching that pass. He probably didn't weigh 205, 210, maybe something like that. He got bulked up to 250 range or more while he was at Alabama and in NFL. This is his junior year. Most people don't remember, but Antonio in his sophomore season was a high jumper for Coach Clester Winningham and won, I believe, if he didn't win the state, he'd been real close, but I know he set the school record at 6'10" as sophomore. So he was a good enough athlete to play linebacker in the NFL and high jump in high school his sophomore year, 6'10". Now that is an incredible, incredible athlete. They had those 3 players I mentioned were fine football players, and I hate that I don't have a roster that I could get out of.
But you said in the annual it wasn't as thorough. It
wasn't near as thorough as it had a team picture, but no identification of the players.
Okay.
Philip has brought one more picture up. Thank you, Philip. The guy that kicked there is, I think his name was Mike. His last name's Kaywood, which would have been your friend's
Tom Kaywood's
son.
Yeah.
And the reason why we pull that out, that is Darrell Welch Holden. And when Darrell first got to the high school, he was really small, and I believe he worked as a manager for Coach Gaddis at first, and then begged him to where Joe finally let him put on a uniform, and he was the holder for the kicks. And of course, every kick was the hold was successful anyway.
Darrell's a good real estate agent too. Been a good
real estate agent,
man, good daddy, good husband.
He's a good man.
Before I'm going to wind this up, but there's one lady, 2 ladies I'd like to show. Get the one of that's my 3rd grade teacher, Ms. Lucy Mabel Shaw, over in Chapel Hill.
Right.
Now, the reason I put her picture up is because her daughter was a part of the Great Migration to Tullahoma.
From Marshall County to Coffee County that we talked about before.
Put up the other one. Her daughter, Jimmy Lou Smith. You know Jimmy Lou.
Know her well.
She's an art teacher at the high school.
Right, for many years.
And a great lady. She lives now at Morning Point.
Correct.
And just a delightful person. And Tullahoma profited by Chapel Hill's absence of her being gone.
We've and you're a fine example of the same,
well,
John.
Thank you, Pat.
Yeah.
I was hoping somebody might mention that before we signed off here.
I'm glad I could think that and boost you up a little bit. There's nothing like watching you strut out of here when we get done. And we're done with segment 71.
That's great.
But that's not the end of the conversation, John. We've got lots to go. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me at Life Care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Welcome back. I have the best guest today, Macy Tabor. How good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
I watched Macy grow up forever. Started out down about this high.
That's right.
Singing on South Jackson Goes Country, and now you're singing across the nation. Tell me a little bit about the Josie Award that you just won, the top award. What is it all about?
The Josie Music Awards is an award show for independent artists, and this year this year was the 10th anniversary, and I've been to every single one. And the first time that I went, I was just a guest, so I guess I was like maybe like 11. I'm 22
little.
now.
Yeah.
But I was either 11 or 12. But this was the 10th anniversary, and there were 75,000 submissions.
75,000.
Yes. And only 3.5% made it as nominations, and I won Modern Country Song of the Year.
And that is so fabulous. Tell them the name of the song you won on.
So the song is called A Match Made in Hell.
She sang it on our show the last time she was here, and I do want you to sing, but I thought it might be fun to do something that's coming up that you're writing. So why don't we just go right into that?
Let's do it.
You want to give them the title?
Yes, I wrote this song with my good friend Mark Roma, and we call it Cowboy Killer. I hope you guys like it.
Cowboy Killer. Wow.
She's on the run, don't ever stick around. Steal some hearts in another town. She's a small town rebel, honky tonk devil, yeah, there's no doubt. Her alibi was she was having fun. She'll blow you down with her smoking gun, begging for your life with a 45. She'll take you down. Even the law don't see her coming. No, she don't come with a warning. She's got brown hair, brown eyes, riding in disguise, dressed in denim, kiss filled with venom. She's a whiskey river that'll pull you under. She's got red lips, tight jeans, a part of her crime scene. Outlaw with a southern drawl, leaves a trail of broken hearts behind her. Watch out, boy, she's a cowboy killer. She looks like the sun comes out with the moon. Won't feel bad for what she's done to you. It'll turn into sin in just one kiss. Yeah, run, don't hide. Even the law don't see her coming. No, she don't come with a warning. She's got brown hair, brown eyes, riding in disguise, dressed in denim, kiss filled with venom. She's a whiskey river that'll pull you under. She's got red lips, tight jeans, a part of her crime scene. Outlaw with a southern drawl, leaves a trail of broken hearts behind her. Watch out, boy, she's a cowboy killer. No rodeo, Romeo, if you survive, she's wanted dead or alive. She's got brown hair, brown eyes, riding in disguise, dressed in denim, kiss filled with venom. She's a whiskey river that'll pull you under. She's got red lips, tied to the part of her crime scene. Outlaw with a southern drawl, leaves a trail of broken hearts behind her. Watch out, boy, she's a cowboy killer. Yeah, breaking hearts isn't guilty pleasure. Forgive me, Lord, I'm a cowboy killer.
All right, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Hello, who writes with you? Do you write a lot by yourself?
I write some by myself. I write a lot with Connor Austell, which you'll know.
We love Connor.
He actually goes on the road with me a lot now.
Good.
We've been to Augusta, Georgia a few times together, and we're actually going again in January. But I write a lot with him. Write a lot with Mark Roma, who I wrote this song with. Corey Lee Barker, Landon Wall, who I wrote Match Made in Hell with. Yeah.
Have you found that it's getting easier and easier to write?
Oh yeah. Ever since I was, first started writing, I feel like I was gonna double major in songwriting and music business in college, but I was just thinking, I'd been songwriting like for years before I even started college.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've learned so much just from writing with other people, and just the more I write, the more I learn.
The more you learn.
And I was like, why do I need to go to school for that?
Right.
So.
And by the way, you're about to graduate, aren't you?
I am. I'm excited. I got 3 more weeks and I'll be a college graduate.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. Wow. So this song that you're just fixing to record, right?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't recorded it yet.
I've actually recorded the music, but I go next week to record my vocals.
To record your vocals. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm excited about that, and I have a feeling it's going to hit the top of the charts.
Well, thank you.
And you're doing some touring this year.
I am. So I just announced that I was going to go on tour in 2025, and I posted a video on my social media.
Yeah.
And in my bio, if anybody wants to partake, it's a little survey, and you just let me know where you want me to come play, and we'll try to make it happen.
That's awesome. And some of the time you're touring by yourself?
Yes.
Just acoustic?
So really what this tour is to really showcase my original music. So it's going to be a more like intimate setting. But I can also do band stuff if people really want. I do private shows and all that stuff. So yeah.
You work with a band a lot.
Yes, I do.
mean,
almost every day I work. Tonight I'm going to go work with a band. So.
And where are you going to be tonight?
I'll be at Rippy's on Broadway, 6 to 10.
That's great. Rippy's on Broadway. That's the big city.
That is. I'm there every day, just about. It's my second home.
And you still love it. Have you ever thought about moving to Nashville?
I have. I was actually talking about this with somebody yesterday about how I feel so lucky to even have been born in Manchester.
This close.
This close to Nashville, only an hour away. And, you know, I have like this love for music. I want to do music. And when a lot of people travel away from their family and come so far to move to Nashville.
I know.
And they don't have any family or friends around, but I'm fortunate enough to have people
You're here with
around
your
me
family and your friends, and they come to see you. And
yeah, I feel lucky. So I don't know. I love living out in the country. I live out in the middle of nowhere in Manchester, but I love it like that. But it would save a little gas living in Nashville.
It's a great living with nature and some space around you is a great place to write.
Yes.
Because you can separate your mind from the rest of the world.
Yes.
I know a lot of people that write, and some people, it just comes to them. But do you set a time during the day that you think, okay, I'm going to sit down here and write, or you just?
I only really do that whenever I have a co-write that I did schedule. If I write one on my own, it'll just be random. Like if something clicks inside, I'm like, I need to sit down and write a song.
Write a song right now.
And like we were talking about before we sat down, kind of a similar situation of how like something just pops in your head, you know. I'll be just talking to anybody really, and I'll just say something or they say something, and I'm like, I need to write that down because that sounds like a song, you know.
Yeah, and I know some people that keep a pad and paper by their bed, and if they wake up with a great idea, you know you got to write it down right then, or you'll forget it.
I've woken up from a dream before and rolled over. It was like a song that I'd never heard, like in my head, and I was like, is that like, and so I rolled over and I turned on my voice memo on my phone and I just sang it.
And you just sang it right then into the phone. Now I think that's wonderful. Would you like to do a second song?
I can. You want me to
do whatever you want to do?
Let's say I could do Match Made in Hell.
Well, go ahead and do that if you want to.
Okay, let's do it.
Everybody would probably like to hear that.
For the ones who hadn't heard it, this is the
Josie Award.
That won the Josie. So it goes like this. It's based on a true story. I got a call the other day that my best friend got caught getting friendly with my ex-man. Now they calling me saying that I should pretend that everything's okay. But taking the high road's overrated, been calm and collected, but I've been jaded. Trust is faded, friendship traded. What can I say? I'll call my shoulder smiling down on you. Oh, he's perfect for the girl you've turned into. I bet Coretta Deville will wish you well. I come on set up by Satan himself. He's a match made in hell. Well, I'll be waiting for the day when you up and call me crying fake tears with some BS sorry, cause he ain't choosing, he's just using you to get back at me. And call my shoulder smiling down on you. Oh, he's perfect for the girl you've turned into. I bet Coretta Deville will wish you well. I come and set up by saying himself in the match made in hell. Oh, I'm hungry listening in. These words are for you too. Karma surely smiling down on you. Oh, he's perfect for the girl you've turned into. I think I wish you well. I come on, set up my standing sail in a match made in hell. Oh, a match made in hell.
All right.
Thank you.
I love the way you got the title. What you told me about
Yeah.
how you got the title. A friend just said that song sounds
He's like, that's a match made in hell. And I was like,
whoa.
Yeah, it was.
And so the next thing for you after college, which is, I think it's amazing how much singing and playing you've been doing and going to school at the same time. But do you have any aspirations of where you want to go from there?
So right after, like probably for the next year, it's gonna be the touring.
Okay.
I'll be touring for a few months, and then I'll be off the road for like a month or so, and then I'm just gonna go back on tour again.
Would you like to give people your website?
Yeah. If you guys want to find me, you can find me at Macy Tabor, MacyTabor, on Instagram, Facebook, and my website's just macytabor.com. Yeah.
And I bet you have a lot of followers.
I got some. I got a few.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Well, Macy, I think it's time for us to wrap this up. So,
well, thank you for
I'd love to hear
having
another
me.
song, but I don't think we actually have the time. So,
well,
thanks
you
for
guys.
coming.
Thank
Loved
you.
it. Macy Tabor, folks.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
People in Tennessee are starting a movement.
Ouch. Thank you.
To clean up the litter on our roadways. Litter hurts our environment and endangers wildlife, and it affects our quality of life.
Here, grab me. Thank you.
Help keep our state litter-free.
Let's roll.
Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and be a part of the solution to end littering.
Saving the best for last.
That's right. Nobody trashes Tennessee.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Thanksgiving. I have something I want to give thanks about. About 10 years ago, one of country music's greatest stars, Ray Price, decided to sing a song of mine, and it was recorded. He finished recording about November the 14th. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for Don Jones, who's a friend of mine, who played guitar for me on this version that I do, and my daughter-in-law, Cindy Gray, who's playing violin or fiddle, And my lovely bride, who I wrote this song for, Fran Gray, for singing with me. Here's South Jackson Goes Country, my version of Beauty Lies in the Eyes of the Beholder.
I'm 65 years old, folks, this year. What do you think about that? Huh? I never figured I'd make it that far. But I did, and I got a couple of things that happened to me in my 65th year. I got a new girl, a daughter. What do you think about that? Old man like me having a daughter at 65? Pretty strong, isn't it, huh? Well, here she comes up on the stage right now. And she's going to be playing with me along with another friend that's out there. Y'all come on up. The other thing that happened to me this year is 20 years ago, I wrote a song for my wife. This is Don Jones right here. And there's my lovely daughter, Cindy Gray, right there. And my bride, Fran, is going to come out right now. And 20 years ago, I wrote a song for her, on our 19th wedding anniversary. And this year, it was picked up by Ray Price, a legendary classic country artist, and it is the title cut on his last album. Ray died of pancreatic cancer in December. And the name of the song is Beauty Lies in the Eyes of the Beholder. And I wrote it for her. And, it's not often that a man gets to sing with the queen, is it? She's my queen all the time. Mountaintops, raindrops, snowflakes when they fall, the babies cry, your hazel eyes, a night train's lonely call, starry nights, lightning strikes, wild horses running free. The world is filled with loveliness for those who care to see. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and I hold beauty every time I hold you. With love that only grows as it gets older, and the beauty of it all is forever. You'll be holding me too. And that's what fine lines that trace sweet memories slightly on your face. And I don't care if every hair's not always right in place.
I can see forever when I look into your eyes. But sometimes things that can't be seen is where real beauty lies. Beauty lies
by the way, you can pick that up at Hastings or Cracker Barrel. Beauty is Ray Price. Help a brother right there. So we just want to say happy Thanksgiving. What you got? Tell them.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You had a birthday.
I did. I had a birthday on Sunday. Went to see my main man yesterday, Tommy Gwynn, 105.
Let's show the picture.
That's him right there with me. That was at his birthday when he was 105. When he turned 105.
There you go.
So anyway,
that's wonderful.
He's my buddy. He's my oldest and dearest friend. So we just had a good time yesterday. Sure
now
did.
we got a little more. We got 2 minutes now, almost 3 minutes now, so we get to talk a little bit more.
Well, somebody's making time somewhere,
Well,
aren't they?
hey, no, there it is, 1:30. It's changing. Time's changing fast.
Oh boy, I'm telling you, time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
He was in the Second World War, is that right?
He was Second World War II and Korea.
And Korea.
And Korea, yes. And the hero in both wars. Hero in both wars, yeah. He got just about every kind of medal they made, and I think they're still making them for him. They sure are. And so anyway, we had a great conversation, and he's just a fine fella.
Yes, he is, and you're a fine fella to go.
Well, thank you.
Go visit.
Thank you.
Spend time.
Well, what I do when I can't visit, and COVID had us down a lot, and so just shut everything down pretty much. And I'd go through somebody's neighborhood, somebody I thought a lot of, I'd make sure I knew where they lived, and I'd go through their neighborhood, and I'd just say a little prayer, when I go by the house and do that. And I got to doing that on a regular basis, and I said, sometimes you just need to go and visit somebody.
Right,
You just need to go and see them. But everything's catchable and spreadable, and you don't want to cause anybody any problems, so you do things at a distance a lot of times, but that doesn't stop you from doing things. So,
well, what we want to do right now is spread a bunch of thanks to all of y'all. Thank you for watching what we do. Don't forget the Christmas parades are coming up. Becky Buller's going to be at South Jackson on the 8th, and it's the time of year to be thankful,
Amen.
To share with each other,
Absolutely.
and put love back in where hate has been. We'll see you next week. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
That was a good line, John.